Jesus, Len, where have you been? Well, when I came back from the Philly show, I was really sick and my voice is still a little hoarse. I am on the mend. I am feeling much better. And, thank you for your patience. But I have so much footage in the can that I have to get up. And the nice thing is that we're just wrapping up the White Plains show. I'm actually down at the hotel now and just getting ready to head over there. I got a little time to kill, so I figured why not do I'm gonna have a couple of videos. I'm gonna have like a, White Plains show wrap up, and I still owe you guys a Philly show wrap up, which will come out later this week. But I figure why not just knock this out now? This is just a dedicated episode just to show my pickups, and really all the stuff that I got was from the dealer next to me. Now, this guy, Mike, and I'll insert some footage here.
Look at that. We're at the White Plains show. I'm sitting next to my boy Mike over there, who takes care of everybody. People love his bargain boxes, as they should. Great guy over there.
This guy, Mike, I've known Mike forever, since like 2008 when I first started setting up at the White Plains show. And I used to sit up on the opposite side of him over by the Nathans. And he used to come by like the bathroom or whatever. He was set up on the other side of the room with his dad, and he would come by and he would spend money with me and, get some stuff, things that he could use. Very friendly guy. And he's got kind of the similar model as I do. Good bargain box stuff. And I like the fact that we're right next to each other, because it's like customers shop from me, they go to him. They go from him, they go to me. It's pretty cool. And it's always good too if I don't have, I'm very fortunate that I have some friends locally or even down the Philly show. Like one of my friends travels with me, my friend Steve. It's always good to have somebody in the booth to kind of, like I have 2 booths, so it's good to have somebody keep an extra eye on your stuff. And Mike is one of those guys. Like I completely trust him, and same thing with me. So if we need to use a bathroom break or something like that, you're leaving thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and kind of in the open, and it's good to have somebody there to have your back. So Mike, I love you. Thank you so much for the deal. And going back to that, he's over the years he's spent whatever, $50 here, $30 here, $100 there, and I really didn't have like a personal collection or anything going through there, or going through that time, or if it was so niche. And I knew he really didn't have that stuff, so it was nice to be able to kind of return it and shop with him. And he was like handing me piles of oversized stuff, and I'm going through and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll take this and this. So without further ado, we're gonna spin the camera around. Also just want to give a shout out to Sammy Thunder and Mookie, who I met for the first time. And I just really enjoyed the conversations that we had. And congrats, Sammy, on picking up that sweet 52 Maze decal, man. It's freaking awesome. So anyways, there's some little treasures in here. So there's some PC stuff. There's some stuff I'm going to hold on to for a little while till I get tired of it, and I might sell down the line. But I just thought some of this stuff is really cool. So I'm going to start off with the cards first, moving a little bit oversized, and I think the killer thing is at the end, which was really cool. So okay, so as you guys know, I PC A's and red stuff. So here we got to deal with a little bit of the lighting here in the hotel room, but we have a Dennis Eckersley jersey card. I think it's like 2004 Flair or whatever. I just like the way the card looks. This is a triple jersey SPX winning materials. It's got Jim Thome, Juan Gonzalez, and Roberto Alomar on it. And I remember when these came out, these were you weren't even guaranteed a triple jersey, but like you were guaranteed a jersey or autograph card, 1 per box. The box was $120. I think these are 2001. And, the triples were hard to get. So the fact that it had a price tag of $6 and he hooked me up with a discount, my man. I loved Jim Thome growing up in the 90s. I was buying all his 91 Bowmans and 91 final editions that I could find. I think I had like 600 rookies at one point back in the day when we were rookie speculating. Here's another one of the A's. So this will go on the PC. So this is, and I don't have a lot of game use stuff, but I figured, I'm there, price point's right. I don't want to say I grew up on these cards because I was in my early to mid 20s when these came out, but I was working at a full-time managing a sports card memorabilia store in a mall, and I saw a lot of this stuff ripped open. So the fact that, again, a box was $120 and I paid, I don't know, $3 or $4 for this card is great. And it's got a Giambi, Chavez, I think Hudson on there. So now Here's something that's cool. We got a Vita Blue pack pulled on-card autograph, okay? Now, that price point, definitely more than what I wouldn't want to pay for, for a Vita Blue autograph. I mean, I have several of them, but I know this Top Super Teams is a tough card. That's a tough autograph. So, and I mean, it's just a great image of Vita Blue. So we got that. And then there was another Vita Blue, nice, shiny Finest Moments refractor card. Now that's much closer where I like to be at in Vita Blue autographs, and this one I think has got a little more pop and shine to it. But again, he discounted down. Mike hooked me up. Great guy. He sets up a Philly. And he's just got great stuff. He's got fun stuff. Here's a jersey rack. I think that might be Giambi at the end. It's a little dark in here, so I can't tell. But there was an A's guy on there, so I bought it. And then I also saw the price point, and I was like, wow, like, if this was $4, I get like $1 a jersey, and you see one's going across. And I think it's also serial number 2. So, numbered out of 150. Pretty cool. Here's a bat rack. I remember these are the Flair box score bat racks. Again, it was $5, and I think this is numbered out of 500, something like that, 400. Try to see who's even on here. I can't tell the image of who's on there, but at the time it just made sense. It's too dark in here, and I don't have my glasses. So, all right, here's a quad back card. This is one of the Upper Deck ones. It's got Frank Thomas on there. Who's that? That's Jim Thome up top. That's why I got it. Carlos Delgado. And I think it's Juan Gonzalez. So quad back card marked at $5 with a discount. Early 2000s. We'll take that. Then just for there's a little bit of non-sport stuff here. So he had a latch case of like the Bazooka Joe comic cards. These are really cool. They're from the 70s. We're not going to read each one. Again, I don't know my glasses, but I just enjoy this stuff. And the thing is because I spent, a little bit of money with him, he actually threw this whole latch case in for free. So I thought that was very cool. And I'm very appreciative of that. So got that. We got some non-sports. I am doing some 33 Gaudi Indians. I will show some reveal. I will show some reveal later on. That's a little bit of paper loss there, but nonetheless, that stuff is on the rise as far as like cost. I think a lot of people are jumping on anything 33 Gaudi now. You got like the Baron. Is it the Barons? Skybirds. Skybirds. The Gaudi Indians. There's other products around there I'm not thinking of, but and then here we have I think this is Freedom of War. What is this? Oh no, Uncle Sam. So this was $1 for a card from the 1940s, I believe. And I do like the military stuff, and I did pick up another military thing in a second. So, all right, let's get into the oversized stuff. While we're on non-sport, I have 2 non-sport pieces here. One is, we'll just jump right into the military thing here. This is from 1942. It's thick cardboard stock. And I have a really awesome 53 Bowman, a 53 Bowman Freedom of War. Oh, no. What's it called? It's not Freedom of War. It's it's a military set, and I'll be doing an episode just dedicated to that later on. I have the complete set. It's really nice. I picked it up a couple years ago, and this just has really good content on it. It's got the tanks and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it in an 8.5 by 11 pocket sleeve and just kind of have that in front of the set. I mean, it's not part of it, but the cardboard stock on this the stock on it's thicker than like a magazine. So, and it's got some even though it looks like a magazine on the back, it's I think it was more for informational. So we got that, and then similar thing, we have a Judy Garland from 1946, and I do have some vintage cinema stars and things like that. So I thought this would be pretty cool to put in front of the book. And obviously, she'll always be Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz to me, to a lot of other people. Here, I'm not really into like unsigned programs, but this definitely kind of piqued my interest. And so I definitely wanted to see the images on the inside. And I kind of flipped through yesterday to see if like, maybe MC Hammer snuck in a couple of photos or whatever. I didn't see any in there, but there's definitely some really cool images in here. And maybe one day down the line I'll get into it, but we're not going to do that here. It is scored. They played against the Angels, and Nolan Ryan pitched in that game. So I'll also take a look at that later on down the line too. Very cool. Here is a bicycle advertisement, and again, it's kind of got like a cardboard stock, and that, my friends, is Pete Rose chugging down the first base line. Definitely from the '60s, because he's in pinstripes here, and you can tell by the ads it's a vintage Pepsi and Burgermeister beer. It'd be interesting to see if Burgermeister beer was still around, if everyday collector Jason would be drinking that as opposed to the Pabst Blue Ribbon. Hi, Jason, love you. And then the last oversized piece, well, the oversized, like, that's kind of like programming. I had to get this. This is insane. This is the Sporting News, okay, from 1966. Wilt on the cover. There's Aaron and Clemente on the inside, which I haven't even checked out yet because I can't get past the fact that, they're just going over some of the games that he had. And in one of the most recent games, he had, it was 37 points and 42 rebounds. So I just like that shot in the front. Everything. I love everything about this. This is pretty cool. So, and it was only marked at $25. So I was like, I'll take that. Again, it's not something I'm looking to expand the collection in, but it's Mike. It was fun stuff and it's good content. So now here's the cool thing. He had this, I don't know if this is a complete set or not, but there's a stack of these in here. And this is apparently from 1971. I don't know much about these. I've never seen them. He had it marked the whole set at $60. Okay. 1971 All-Star Picture Pack. We have Rusty Staub, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Yaz, Brooksy, Seaver. And, this is, the price point, I would have bought it anyways, but the fact that Bench is in here is pretty cool. Ernie Banks, Mercer, Killebrew, McCovey, and Boog Powell. So the Aaron, I think, is like probably, all of them are pretty nice. The Aaron's got a little something going on with it. There's like a little maybe like indentation here. But other than that, everything else is just beautiful. And, as you guys, the collectors, and myself, as you guys have sucked me into your world in a very nice way, these kind of items, I don't think they're going to last much longer at very fair price points. There's going to be a price drive. And so here, 60, but he charged me $40 for this whole pack. So ultimately for all of this, I think I paid $150 for everything here. So I am extremely happy with the whole pickup. And I just like the fact that I was able to kind of give back a little bit to somebody who gave a lot to me over the years. And I just had a lot of fun doing it. And it's kind of funny because while we were there, he was like passing boxes over to me. Like we had some customer action going on, but it was like, a little slow, maybe on Friday or whatever. And so we were able to kind of do that and knock that out. So I'm going to cut another video right now. And I'm going to add it to the next video. So it'll be its own separate thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hey, happy collecting, everybody. I hope everybody has a great week. It's Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And then I hope everybody has a great week. We'll catch you later.